And I'm telling you, what a Monday. What a way to start the Monday. I've been so excited. You wouldn't know what goes on behind the scene at the radio station, but however, there was been a great time just now. Well, folks, it's Monday. The starting of a brand new week, and I always climax the evening hours. And so I'd like to say welcome to another edition of your number one road safety and traffic information program. That is Traffic Talk, which is a regular feature always on this radio. Traffic Talk usually comes on at 6:15 and lasts up until 6:45. And on this platform, we keep our driver being enlightened about those appropriate driving practices and also checkmating those malpractices and irregularities within the traffic. A time to bring those regular guys to guys charged with the responsibility to regulate and the sturdy affairs of the traffic sector. And so as usual, I'm always here on the weekdays. My name is Martin Fagans, your regular number one driver, your number one kicker guy and pimping guy, making sure that we all do the right thing within the traffic. As usual, as a regular feature on this program, we bring you our team song, Carla been played, the introduction been done, our driving quotations, followed by our safety tapes, a word from our correspondent. Let's hope he's not busy today. Let's hope he's not been carried away by the Ramadan celebrations throughout the weekend. But however, we bring you our safety tapes, speak to the consciousness of the motorists, and allow you as our listening audience to fill us in at times whenever the phone lines get to be open to tell us the things within you notice within the traffic congestion, show in case you are stuck up in one. But before we bring you our safety quotation for today, let's quickly give you some traffic updates that we've noticed over the course of the weekend. As a matter of fact, it's a regular traffic in this areas we're about to talk about. There's always a traffic buildup around the Gabriel Talkers Bridge at about this time, heading towards the Gabriel Talkers Bridge from the Johnson Street end, going toward the Bushwar Island. So if you're headed towards that part, using that part to get to Gardnersville, that of the Bushwar Islands, just brace yourself. If you're in so much of a rush, I recommend to you use a bike or a keke. But if you want to get home, be patient because there's a huge traffic there building up right about now. And if you're on the evening shifts and heading from that part of the Bourgeois Island, know that there's traffic around the beer factory, Douala, Momotown intersection. There's always a go slow on the Cartwell Bridge from both ends, from Cartwell and that of the Bourgeois Island side, and also going towards the Railroad Bridge at the Logantown side as well. So brace yourself for traffic ahead at that point. Let's move forward to the 20th Street area, just approaching the between 20 and 19th Streets to the back route of the JFK Medical Center. There's always this traffic build-up around that area. And so if you're headed that way, make sure you brace yourself. There's a traffic ahead of you. And one thing I know for sure, because of the road construction work being done around the ELW, Duper Road, Packuping Junction, and the Packuping Junction road have been completed. And so around the red light area, Police Academy intersection with the red light area mainly, there's a go slow there because cars come from on the Benson Hospital Road trying to get on the main boulevard. So at the intersection point, you always find this traffic around that area. Let's hope it's not so intense. But if you're approaching that part, know that you're headed towards the traffic. And also, because of the rerouting of cars have to park around the LRA back road, so in case you are coming from the Duper Road after branching from Prince Yolo Johnson Avenue. Just know that you'll be headed towards the traffic around the back route of the LRA because that road is just a feeder road. With the cars that apply that street, that road just cannot hold those cars and the capacity that fill that road. So know that you'll be headed towards the traffic up until you get around the city builder. And And there's a go slow as far as the Tottenham Boulevard intersection, leaving from EOW towards town. And if you're coming from towards town towards that part, there's a huge traffic buildup around the 72nd Boulevard junction. Reason being because of the road construction road ahead, and there is this parking around the Boulevard junction. In my opinion, I feel that the police should work in line with the union there, the tricycle union parking union there, to relocate that parking site because of the road construction work being done. One of the contributing factors to that traffic in that area is due to the fact of the parking so close to the intersection, and so it makes it kind of difficult to regulate the traffic within that area. So we are calling on the public safety and the guys have been posted there at the Boulevard junction to see a reason to work in line with the tricycle and motorcycle union to relocate that parking, even at the vehicle parking that is there as well. It's not necessary. Let's move further downwards to enhance free movement at the intersection. And there's the traffic along the Roberts International Highway, to be precise, around the SKD area. The Tinkers Village Rehab area, as far as the RLJ. Until you can pass the points, know that you are headed for traffic. It's a go slow. It's not really a congestion, but it's a go slow up onto EOW Hospital until you pass the RLJ. But you have alternative routes you could use, passing through King Gray, or in case you pass through the President Back route if you're headed from Zuba Town. So other ways help to minimize the traffic in those areas. There's the traffic around the Omega Market at about this time because guys are coming from the rural parts, coming with commodities. And so there will be a go slow just before reaching to the Omega Main Market intersection. So brace yourself if you're headed that route. And quickly, let me speak to the conscience of our street vendors. You guys are taking advantage of these peak time in traffic. And I know that you guys are hustling and want to get that daily bread for the family. But please make sure to check your surroundings before rushing to go and serve that passenger with whatever commodity he or she wants. Time check, 24 minutes on the flip side of 6 o'clock. The program you're in tune to is Traffic Talk. Traffic Talk is a regular feature, always on the Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation from 6:15 to 6:45. We take a team some breather. We come back and review our driving quotation for the day, followed by our safety tips, and we link up things with our man Suleiman Jallo to bring us up to speed. Stay tuned. And so we take a musical break on a music break that is on the program, the Traffic Talk right here. We take this one here, a song that is trending, that is taking over. His name is Jacino and it's called Butter My Bread, right here on Traffic Talk on ABC Radio 105.1. Stay tuned.
More music on DavePlay.com.
Live from the King's Builder in Monrovia, brought into country. This is
Nicki Minaj, come give me love, give me your body. Butter my bread, she got my teeth, give me your baby. Ain't nobody touch me, you wanna try it, they push me. Everybody crushing you, but I'm wanting to marry you. I love her. Carry a lot, if I say I be complete, man, yeah. Now you're matter, it's for my mind, inside, yeah. I'm the water, baby, do something nice, yeah. I am matter, girl, I love your body, yeah. Look at my big baby, they want my soul nice and sneeze up. She calling my love like a sweet sister. Over and over, she can do my thing. She's so in love with me, it's a blessing.
just in right here, Butter My Bread.
Yeah, if I'm poor or rich, I give for my love to eternity. Oh no no no, can I promise I will be there for you? Oh no no no, if you ever leave, I go hunting for you, my queen. Kiss you
And I'm telling you, time check 26 minutes on the flip side, 6 o'clock. The program is Traffic Talk right here on ABC Radio 105.1. Something that is trending, something that has the potential of going worldwide. His name is Jacino. Butter and bread, a fine piece right here. Stay tuned to Traffic Talk. This is
ABC 105.1.
All right, welcome back to the fresh edition of this week on Monday. Today is the 24th day within the 4th month of April 2023, and the time is 6:27. Let's now bring you our driving quotation for the day, and it says, a driver reaches a destination by driving on the road, not by laying back to enjoy the view. We all know what laying back is. It's that comfortable position you think you want to impress the girl or the guy next to you to show that you are a big boy or girl. In driving, that is not the most comfortable position. And you wouldn't reach your destination by being so much, laying back. So you have to be attentive, especially when you want to keep your eye focused on the road. The better position to be comfortable. Adjust your seat to the point where you can see ahead 100 meters and beneath your car as well. Don't try to impress people by being a big boy by laying back, especially when you know your reflexes as a driver is not really good. Reckless driving is operating a vehicle in speed or a manner likely to endanger other drivers, passengers, and road end users as in pedestrian lives. So reckless driving is attributed to those factors. Reckless driving is operating a vehicle in a speed or a manner that is not appropriate to the driving principles and norms. So whenever you do this kind of reckless driving, which is not right, you not only endanger the lives of yourself, but most likely in the case you try to endanger the life of other drivers, other motorists, road end users as in pedestrians, could be a visually impaired person, that which would be very, very bad, or a disabled person, or even your very own passenger within your car, or perhaps destroying lives and property. So reckless driving is not really necessary. How do you be reckless? Knowing that you have to be there at a certain time and you know you didn't calculate the time correctly, and you have to run and use that excessive speed to get there, and because of that you will be reckless. Your approach to driving will be kind of reckless. Your decisions, your calculation will be reckless, and then it might endanger you as a driver. So it is not necessary to be a reckless driver. It's on contrary, rather be a careful driver that will do things the right way and to protect lives and property. With that being said, when you apply those principles to your driving, not by laying back and being so comfortable, but being comfortable in a position where you can see and press your brake pedal, your gas pedal, or your clutch. Perhaps if you're driving an automatic transmission, just your brake and your gas pedal. When you're in that position, your calculation will be right, and you wouldn't be reckless. So apply these things to your driving practices and become a better driver. That's the sole intent of Traffic Talk, to make sure that you do that. Even you as a motorist, don't never do reckless riding, because reckless riding leads to your end. Like what I saw on Saturday early in the morning. I wouldn't know who was at fault, but there was this huge accident that occurred on the early Saturday morning, as soon as about 5:30. As I was on my way to the morning show here on the Saturday, there was a car involved, an SUV and a bus, plus this motorcycle. And you could see clothes and blood on the ground. That tells you that it was so terrible, because somebody was not attentive. Somebody drove and rode recklessly and led to the destruction of vehicles, lives, and property as well. So if you be careful in riding a keke or bike or wherever it is, help save your lives that of your passenger, and that of the road end user. So let's just bring you some of our driving safety tapes before linking up with Slimane Jallow this evening. Be extra defensive whenever you are a motorist plying the streets. You could be a rider or a driver. And I also noticed something so funny the other day, yeah? There was this accident coming to work yesterday in the evening between this push guy and a taxi at Vamoma House. And I blame the driver in a sense. Reason is, the driver should have been patient. This guy is using excessive strength, physical strength to push this thing. You are using something that is, uniquely built to help you move. So if you see the guy have crossed the yellow line, the lane separator, and is approaching the Vamoma building itself, all you have to do is that 10 or to 2 to 20 seconds, or even 2 minutes to give this guy a chance to cross the street would not stop you from having that appropriate or the exact report money. It will not stop you from getting to your destination. I don't think your passengers in that vehicle will even be angry at you for giving that guy the chance to cross. The reason is you are protected in that object. He is not, and he's using that physical strength to cross that street, pushing it, and you are just cruising. So you should be helpful at times. The quest for report money is so immense on your head as a driver, but you are oppressing. When you leave that moving object, flip the coin around, you become a passenger or a pedestrian as well. And you want somebody to help you to as well to cross from another point. It could be your brother or a sister pushing that push, trying to look for his daily bread. Help him and protect me as well. And so comeback fatigue, have yourself rested properly so in case you are a highway driver driving the long distances. One way to combat fatigue at night driving is being rested properly before embarking on your driving and going to your destination. On the contrary of that, if you don't have yourself rested properly, well then you will fall asleep on the road, so in case you don't have an assistant driver. And I tell you for sure, if you're driving Banga Monrovia, the Bako Hill will be so glad to host you. Clean up your view. Your view has to be to do with your windscreen. That is your windshield, as we call it in Liberia. It's actually called your windscreen. Whenever you have those stains on your windscreen, you wouldn't notice at day because it's like daytime. You have the perfect sight. But at night, let another driver put that bright beam on your light and you don't have that perfect windscreen clean. What happens? Your view going to be blurred. Your timing, your calculation will be wrong. And before you make a rightful decision, it might lead to something else. So check all of them. Make sure they have been wiped properly with a dry cloth. And then once they are clean, you will be defensive at night. And to those drivers always driving with this very bright beam lights, pointing, especially these hazard lights, those LED lights you find guys putting as an extra light on their car. I don't think, in my own understanding as a driver, the police should not allow drivers to carry those extra bright beam lights. Those LED lights affect your eyes. They are so bright when they are pointed at the driver or a guy on the opposite lane eyes. Believe in me, for the 5 to 20 seconds you'll be blind. Your calculation will be wrong. So as a driver, always point your beam lights at a position where you see. And if all you are on the express road and you are alone, you can stretch it up to 100 meters based upon your light capacity to go ahead. So point it at a position you can see if other cars are using the road and the other side of the road. But if you're on the main highway, point it at a position that will not embarrass other guys. Always learn to communicate with your light. That's why you find a real good driver will go bright and dim. If the driver on the opposite side is a good driver, he will bright and dim his light as well, and also try to dark it, because the eyes is also important, very important at night driving. Look in the right direction. When do you look in the right direction? Show in case those guys coming with a very decorating car with all those lights on it, so bright enough they don't really care. All they want to showcase the car, how in the glamour it is, how fly it is, how flashy it is. They just got all the lights on, and it affects you as the common driver looking for your ends meet or trying to drive your family back home. Do one thing for me as a professional driver. When that light is being so bright and angle in your direction, just twist your eye in a little way. And then don't focus on the light, because focus on the light will blind your view. Or if those guys who can afford this, I'm about to recommend. In computer Technology now, they have these glasses that dims whatever bright light that come. I do have some. Other guys have some. So when you drive me at night, I recommend those lights if you can afford it. It's a plain glasses, but it has this LED dimmer in it. That wherever bright light that comes your way at night, that certain glasses will just dim it or minimize the reflection of the lights and wouldn't affect your eyes. Because come to think about it, your eyes are so key and important in night driving. So always twist your eyes in another direction too, in case you know the driver light is so bright and it might affect your eyes. Look in the right direction, that is right, and test and use your lights before nighttime comes. Reason is, make sure they are working before they become faulty at night. And trust me, if the electrician guy come to work on your car at night, he's going to charge you for overtime. So how do you do these things? Every morning as a driver, it's called the flower check, and it's called the basic 7 routine maintenance for a driver. Make sure you check your oil, check your water, your brakes, everything that has to do with the car moving smoothly, check them. And things that you will use at night, check them like your lights. And now that we are approaching the rainy season, check your wipers. If they are faulty, if there's a major rain, you wouldn't want to put your car on the street. If you check them before applying the streets, you will know if they are faulty or not. So always check things that you are going to use at night driving, especially at night and during the rainy season. The reason you do them, you check them before, is to have a better understanding of your car, so in case or your object, if they are faulty, you will have to solve them before applying the street. If you don't do these things and then you get in the streets and then there be a heavy rain or darkness comes, you tell me what's going to happen to you. You're going to be relying on the light of other cars, and which will be wrong. People will not be able to see you. You will not be able to communicate properly at night. So we stop it there right now and open up the phone lines for your calls, for you guys to fill us in as to what is going on within the traffic in your area. Those mild practices you've noticed within the traffic you care to bring to our attention. To do so, all you have to do is just call us on 0555 105 100. 0777 105 100. And our listener for today is Otis Jewler of the Orange GSM, and the guys there selling opposite the Orange GSM, talking about Color Boy and the rest of the guys. So let's go to the lines and now talk to our correspondent there, Mr. Suleiman Jallo. Well, I guess he's kind of busy right now. So, yeah. So that's traffic talk for you here on today's edition. We try to speak to the conscience of our driver. Let's just recap things happening within the traffic. Know that there's a traffic on the Gilbert Tucker Bridge right about now. And please make sure to wear your seatbelt as a driver. Make sure you drink, don't drive. Don't be on under high substances and go about driving. Respect the crosswalk. I respect the white king. You know, yesterday was something, you know, riding on the bike, come to work, you observe the thing. I don't want to be so sentimental, yeah? But there was a thing yesterday I really got angry to, like, even lash at the driver, though he was coming from the Ramadan celebration with his family. And the good thing is, he had his family in the car. And this guy saw this blind guy just around the Monrovia City Hall, the crosswalk that is there. The blind guy is waving his white cane. This guy, I don't know whether it was so, I don't know, deliberate or what, but he did not slow down. And then the motorcyclist said, you see how they can do? And I would say, go pull over there and be like, you are not, I just shouted at him and said, you are not a good driver. He said, like, how? I said, because you got your family in this car, your wife, your kid. Sure, in case one of them happened to be visually impaired. Do you expect somebody to respect the white king since you did not respect another blind man, white king? The reason is you have to aid these people because they unlike you that have these two sites, they don't. So they rely on you to help them. So whenever they raise that king means I want to get from one point to another. So my brother or my sister driving that car, no matter what the rush you in, how much you want to get that fast report money or get to your destination, remember one thing. It could be your brother, your sister, or your child who is visually impaired or disabled. That person is not like you. They have some disabilities, so you got to help them. And also drivers don't help students. Oftentimes you drive and these motorcyclists, especially our motorcyclist guys, our pimping guys, you guys got to learn to slow down at intersection where you see students crossing from one point to another. You have to learn to slow down. I know they call you SM browser, jet plane, and all of that. But think about it. When you leave these objects, you have to cross the streets. It could be your parent, it could be your girlfriend, or your sister. And you want somebody to help them too as well. It starts with you by helping others, and in return, everything circles back. You know, karma has a way of bringing things back to people. And so that's it right here on Traffic Talk. Shortly we'll be wrapping things up to go for our commercial and announcements break. And so let's just recap our driving quotations on today's presentation. A driver reaches a destination by driving on the road, not by laying back to enjoy the view, but he reaches by being comfortable and having that perfect view and relaxed position to drive and make sure he gets to his destination safely and on time. Reckless driving is operating a vehicle in speed or a manner likely to endanger other drivers, passengers, pedestrians, or properties along the way. Our driving tips for the day says be extra defensive, combat fatigue by being rested properly, clean up your windscreen, angle your headlights correctly before or ahead of you show in case you are alone driving on the highway. Look in the right direction show in case a bright light is being pointed at your face as a driver at night. The reason you have to do so is not to be blinded by that light for the 10 to 20 seconds that will be pointed in your face. Test and use your lights before the night time. The reason you have to do these things is because you test them and use them and make sure they are working properly before at night to give you that edge and that defensive position at night to communicate with other drivers. And so our listeners of the day has to do with Otis Jeweler of Orange GSM. They're a regular listener of this program, and the guys at Orange GSM opposite, those guys said, those vendors opposite street, opposite Orange, my homeboy Color Boy and the rest of the guys. And then I'd like to say good evening to you guys. And also a special dedication to my own dad and my mom, who celebrates their wedding anniversary come tomorrow, the 31st. The Right Reverend George Amos McDonough Figgins of the Magisterial Court and Lagbasi Community Church, and Mother Jessie B. Figgins. It's a pre-anniversary treat to two of you and a special dedication of Traffic Talk to two of you. On that note, my name is Martin Figgins, urging all motorists to ride and drive safely, do things the right way, respect all driving rules. I'll talk to you tomorrow evening, at which time we'll be bringing you up to speed after a lot of things that are happening within the transport war. Stay tuned. Live from the King's Builder in Monrovia,
Montserrat, Homage, Mount, Buffalo, Mangibi, home, and everywhere you go. This is ABC Radio 105.1 FM. Montserrat, Homage, Cape Mount, Buffalo, Mangibi, home, and everywhere you go.